Hi everyone, this is Asif, and today we are going to learn how we can connect the Tableau with the Facebook page data and do the analysis. Even though the Facebook provides a good analytics and it provides you a good overview of how your page is doing, and you can see what kind of posts are really doing well, but there are some hidden informations which you can just unlock through exporting the data from the Facebook and analyzing on the Tableau. There are two ways by which you can connect to the Facebook. The first is if you look at to a server, click more, click on the web data connector, and this takes you to the screen where you have to enter the Facebook API. This API has already been created by Alex Ross, and that is available on tablewjunkie.com. And I have also uploaded that on my notepad, and I can include this in the video description. So once you have copied the Facebook API, you can paste into the field, press enter. It's going to load and take you to a page where you have to log into your Facebook. Once you enter your credentials, that's going to let you then connect to your Facebook page and you can start doing analysis. But we are going to take a longer way and see how we can connect to the Facebook data after exporting it from the page. By the way, this page belongs to the University of Texas at Tyler, and I'm really thankful to them that they have let me analyze their data. So if you look at the top right hand side, there's an option for exporting the data. Just click on export data. This presents us with the three data types: page, post, and the video. And we are just going to look at the page and the post data for this video. You can select the date range according to your own need, but just keep in mind that it doesn't let you select for more than 180 days. You can select the file format and you can even look at the layout of the page. After you have exported the data, so just click the Microsoft Excel and connect with your data. Once we have connected to the data, we are going to be brought to this screen. Just make sure that you use the data interpreter that helps you in cleaning your sheet. And these are all the pages in the Excel workbook. We are just going to focus on key metrics. So you can bring the key metrics over here by dragging and click extract. That's going to extract the all data. And after extracting, this is how it's going to be shown to you. One last thing is that you would want to change the type of the date into date and time, because later on in this video I'm going to import the post data, and in the post data the date is in date and time. So just to make sure that they blend with each other, we have to keep their type as the same. After doing all the formatting and the cleaning, we can then click on the sheet 1. Here we see that we have all the metrics which were included in the key metrics worksheet, and we have got a date in the dimensions and the measures below. The first thing we would want to do is to bring the date in the columns and bring the lifetime total likes in the rows. By the way, we just have the data for 2017, so I can change the year into the day, and this makes the graph for the lifetime total likes of our Facebook page. But as you see over here, the likes have been constant and we cannot see any such trend. What we can do, we can click on the edit axis and exclude the 0. So this is much better to what we were saying before, because we can see that trend over here. And another thing I can include is the daily new likes. So we just write the daily new likes in the field. And we can bring this into the right side of the axis. So what it's going to do, this is going to include the both of the graphs on just one sheet. And we can see there are 48 nulls because we do not have data for 48 days. So we can just, click on it and show data at default position. This is because we did not get any like on those 48 days. So just to make it a little bit, just to have a more contrast and to make it more appealing to our eyes, we can click on the color. So we can reduce the opacity of the first graph, and this is how it's going to look like after this. This is going to show the contrast between the blue and the orange graph. And what other thing we can do is then we can right click, look into the trends, show the trend lines, and include the trend line for the lifetime total likes. So in the behind we see this line, and that shows the trend of how our trend has been for the 6 months. The next thing we can add is the daily paid reach into the view, and we can add it over here. So that is going to make another graph, and we can see there are 177 nulls because in this date range we have just invested one time on the Facebook ad. So we can have this at the default position, and this is going to be shown. If you want to change the color, we can change the color. If you double click over here, we can select yellow, and that's going to change the color for the daily paid reach. Another thing we can add is a daily organic reach. We can write in the search field and add the daily organic reach. We can add is the viral reach, and this is one of the most important metrics. Have it to the right side of the third graph. Once we have everything on the sheet 1, this gives a good description, of how our page has been doing. How has been the lifetime total likes and the daily new likes, how we are spending the money, and to how many people the post reached by spending the money. The next thing we would like to add is the post now. So I have already downloaded the data. You would want to go and download the post level data from the Facebook. Once you download that, just click on the data, new data source, and connect to the post level data. Click data interpreter and drag key metrics into the view, and that is going to include the entire data of the key metrics. And just have a look at the type of the date, and this is in date and time. Once you have the post level data, you can drag the post message and put it in the rows, and that is going to show you all the messages you have included in the post. And then you can say to how many people that particular post reached. So we can just type the reach and bring it into the columns and do some formatting, and that is going to show you to how many people post has reached. And you can see that you can do it for the every measure. Now there are the tons of these measures you would want to bring in the view. So for that, we can create the parameters. Just right click, create parameter, write KPI, that is a key performance indicator. Because we have all the strings, so we are going to select string, list. First value could be reach, and the second value could be engaged users. Now that we have made our parameters, we have to assign the values to each of the keys. For that, you need to right click, create, calculate field, and we can type select KPI. Now here is the entire script I would want to copy and paste into the sheet. But before doing so, I would like to discuss what it really means. So our case is the parameter, and we know that we created the KPI as the parameter. So this is how we are going to write it. And then we selected the two keys, that is the reach and the engaged users. What we need to tell Tableau is that when we select the reach, then it should call this. And this is nothing but if you just write, the reach and right click over here and rename. So you have to just copy and paste it over there. In simple words, we are telling the Tableau that if we selecting the reach, so it should call this measure. And the same is going to be with the engaged users. For now, to save the time, I'm going to copy and paste it over here. Okay. So once we have it over here, that's going to show in our measures. We can replace lifetime post with select KPI and just show the parameter control. We can now change our KPI. If you want to see the graph for the engaged users, you can click the engaged users. And if you want to see their labels, just press Control and drag the select KPI onto the labels. Now it shows you to how many people this post, how many people engaged with this post, and you can do the same for the reach. We can do some modifications. We can bring the type in the color. And now we can see we had 5 types of the post. We had links, and some of the posts are videos, some are the photos. So just click on the link and see how our links have been doing. We can switch between the types of the post. We can see for the video and so on. Now that we have created our 2 sheets, we can have both of them in one dashboard. So just drag the first sheet and then the second sheet in the second half of the dashboard, and that's it. Just do not forget to check use as filter because that helps in making the connection between the two sheets. Okay, now both of them is connected to each other. For example, if we look this blue graph, that is the graph of the daily new like, we can see there are two huge peaks in this time range. If I want to see what really caused this peak to occur, I can click on this. And that shows me that there was a post that was reached to around 10,000 people. If we see how many people engaged with this post, we can switch between the KPI and it shows that around 320 people they engaged with this post, and out of these 320 people we got around 17 likes. And there is this another peak too, and that is actually coinciding with this graph, that is with the daily paid reach. That shows us that this peak was due to the money we invested on the Facebook ads. It might have reached to our target audience, and that really helped us in bringing more likes. We can dig as deep as we want to depending upon our own needs. Another thing which came in my mind is the heat map. Heat map lets you see what are some of the best days and the times when your users are actively engaging with your post and with your page. So we can have that in another sheet. Just make sure that you select the post level data, bring the date in the columns, convert this in the weekday, again bring the date in the rows, select the hour, and we have select KPI as our measure. We can bring it in the color and show parameter control. So this shows us that Friday at 6 a.m. in the morning, this is the time where our users are on average, they are most actively engaging with our post. We can change this color, edit colors, and I really like this one. Okay, so the greener, the better. Now you must be thinking, why do we have so many people actively engaging at around 6 a.m.? This is because we have international market. We can convert this in the entire view and bring this in the dashboard. And again, if you want to connect this with the other sheets, you can select use as filter. We have finally managed to complete this good looking dashboard. In this tutorial, we saw how we can import the data from Facebook and do some in-depth analysis in Tableau. As these sheets are interconnected to each other, so we can click on any of the data points present in the sheet. For example, if I click on this peak, that is going to show me what is really causing this peak and what kind of post this was. And it's also going to show you the day and the time when it was uploaded. So guys, if you have any question, if you have any suggestions, feel free to comment below. In next video, I'm going to show how we can connect to the data of Google Analytics and how we can unlock some of the hidden insights.